Welcome into this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Schultz, here with you. Thanks for joining us. We are talking all about Noah Fant today. Could he be traded? We have some new intel from ESPN NFL Insider Jeremy Fowler on why Seattle could look to move on from Fant and how rookie tight end Elijah Arroyo factors into the equation. We'll show you what Fowler said and react to it coming up in just a bit. Before we do, folks, I am another year older now, officially today, turning 29. I'll be honest, I'm not too thrilled about it. This is the last year of my 20s. I'm close to 30 now, but life is good. I'm very grateful for the friends we've made along the way and to get to hang out with you guys each and every day. I am so just excited about this next chapter of what's ahead. I don't need any birthday wishes of any sorts, folks, but what I would like from you guys, what advice would you give me as I start this 29th year? What do I need to know? The kids are already calling me an unk now, and I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. Way in the comments section. Let me know what advice you have for me, and we'll get started with today's show. Good night, Vienna, for Noah Fant. Is it curtains potentially for the Seahawks tight end? Well, according to ESPN NFL Insider Jeremy Fowler, he is talking that Fant could be on the move, and part of it has to do with Elijah Arroyo. Let's hear from Fowler what he had to say in his reporting. Multiple scouts consider Arroyo a top 20 to 25 overall tight end of the draft who fell because of injury history. Seattle now has a good tight end nucleus with Arroyo and A.J. Barner. Noah Fant is 1 year from free agency and could have trade value if Seattle explores it. And one of the things that Fowler talks about in this is going into the summer months and seeing where things are at. First off, it adds up, right? When you just think about it, of the situation that, hey, Fant has got just 1 year remaining on his contract and they haven't really seen the production they would have liked, and you have an emerging young talent and Elijah Arroyo. That seems to make sense. But then the other part of this, all right, let's get into the summer months. Let's see what you have in Arroyo first, because there's two different scenarios that could play out with Elijah Arroyo here. The first scenario is that he picks up the offense extremely well and that he's ready to be that guy right from the jump. That would be the ideal scenario. The other scenario, which is not great, but it could happen, is where Arroyo maybe isn't coming along as quickly and needs a little more time, and you're saying to yourselves, like, hey, we like Elijah, but we need Noah for at least 1 more year before Elijah is fully ready to take on that role. So see what you have in Elijah Arroyo throughout this next month or so, and then you can make that potential decision on Noah Fant's future. Because here's the deal, the bottom line, he isn't cheap. All right, Noah Fant, for what they've gotten out of him compared to what his salary is, it's one of those situations where I find myself asking, do I smell Manchado? I mean, that's reality here. It is not the cheapest type of cheese that they are sending his direction that they're having to spend with what they're really getting out of it. And the other end of things, too, you don't want to hold Elijah Arroyo back. I think that's something where if you're saying to yourselves, if you're Seattle here, I mean, I look at Elijah Arroyo and I don't want Noah Fant to potentially stunt his growth if that were to happen. So we'll talk more about each of them and what a potential trade could look like in a moment. Let's ask you guys first. Should the Seahawks trade Noah Fant? You got two options here to be the GM here on Seahawks Today. Type T for trade, P for pass. Weigh in the comments section and tell me what you think. Folks, want to make sure you're subscribed to Seattle Seahawks Today. For my birthday, I am giving all of you a free subscription to the channel. Doesn't cost you a thing. The gift that keeps on giving, with videos each and every day, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day. Live shows 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays now. We're doing our Madden Sim season. We got breaking news, Q&A mailbags. The most interactive Seahawks channel around is right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, stay locked in so you never miss a moment on everything happening with your favorite team. I'm about to take a little getaway for the weekend for the Summer of Jones to South Padre, but you better believe if I'm on the beach and sipping on a cold one and Noah Fant gets traded, I'm telling my buddy Will, get the camera out. I don't care if I have to be shirtless. We're filming a reaction video right here and right now. We will do that because we're built different around here. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. So, now the numbers. All right. If Noah Fant were to be cut or traded, Seattle could save close to $9 million, which is a decent chunk of change for Seattle here, even though they're in a good position when it comes to cap space at this point. And here is the truth of the matter when it comes to Noah Fant. I doubt that Noah Fant's best days are ahead, that he's going to get any better than the product that we've seen the last few years. I think he kind of just is what he is at this point. And he's 27. He's been in the league for a while now. I mean, that's just it. And he's not bad. Nobody is sitting here shitting on Noah Fant by any stretch of the imagination. It's just kind of, all right, you're Seattle. I think we can do a lot better than what you're actually getting out of Noah Fant. I mean, for a former first-round pick, he hasn't lived up to the billing of a first-round pick. Now, it was Denver that made the pick, though. Had a really good rookie season where he was named to the Pro Football Writers Association's all-rookie team. But that last line of the info card that you're seeing on your screen right now, what does that say? Zoom in if you need to, folks. 1 total receiving touchdown in the last 2 seasons combined. Now, I'm not blaming Noah completely for that, but it's still not good. Here's more. Look at this, my friends. 48 catches, 500 yards, 10.4 yards of reception, 1 touchdown. Numbers were improved a little bit this year, but this was an offense and Ryan Grubb's scheme that had more emphasis on the tight end than what we've seen before in the past with Shane Waldron and some of these other schmucks that were calling plays for the Seahawks and ignoring the tight end position, and there still wasn't much to offer from Noah Fant. And we'll talk about Elijah Arroyo more in depth here in just a moment, but there's another guy I need to mention as well. And some of you guys have this fake false narrative that I don't like this guy, which is this. It's not true, but don't forget about A.J. Barner either. A.J. Barner had a sneaky good rookie season. Now, is A.J. Barner ever going to be a number 1 tight end in the NFL? No, but that's okay. He can be a solid number 2 tight end. And when I look at the tight end position, let's say you take Fant out. Arroyo's better than Barner, all right? No offense. And if you don't like it, well, that's too bad, so sad. Arroyo moves into tight end 1. Barner moves up to tight end 2. And I don't think you potentially miss a beat if Elijah Arroyo is completely ready to go. Now, what's the trade potentially look like for Noah Fant? Well, about a 6th-round pick probably at this juncture. And that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but there's more to that. 3 things. I get the pick. I get that money that I can spend elsewhere now. And I got a roster spot that I can use on another player and potentially be just as good at the tight end position without him. Now it doesn't sound so bad, does it now? Right? Who is a player the Seahawks should trade, should move on from? Noah Fant? Somebody else? Tell me in the comment section. Light them up and tell me who you would like to see the Seahawks potentially depart from. Weigh in and let us know. Darius Rucker. Hootie and the Blowfish. Hootie. He's a big Seahawks fan. He has some fantastic Seahawks gear available for your liking. The Darius Rucker Seahawks collection is on sale now for up to 40% off. I don't care if you're working in the fields or if you're going out for a night on the town in Nashville, you're going to be looking fantastic. Styling and profiling with this Seahawks gear from Darius Rucker. Chatsports.com/Darius is where you can get yours today. Every size imaginable that you can think of. And 40% off. Sounds like a great deal if you ask me. We also have other Seahawks gear available for your liking at that same link. Go see for yourself. Chatsports.com/Darius to get yours now. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Get yours today. You'll be glad you did. All right. Now let me talk about my guy, big Texas guy, Elijah Arroyo. Here at Seahawks Today, we are a very pro Elijah Arroyo show. It's in the Book of Jones. You guys remember the Book of Jones. We are very pro Elijah Arroyo. I think he's got star potential. I do. I think box office when I think Elijah Arroyo. And, again, we're not hating on Noah Fant here. We're just being honest. I think if Elijah Arroyo is who I believe he is going to be, we'll quickly forget about Noah Fant. I think that it will be very much easier than what some may realize to move forward with this if Elijah Arroyo is indeed that guy. Arroyo, second-round pick out of Miami. This was an all-time tight end class this year, right? When you talk about Colston Loveland and, what he was able to do, and Tyler Warren, those were two of the top tight end prospects we've seen in a very long time. And on any other year, Elijah Arroyo would have been the first tight end taken in this draft. But you had some generational talents in this draft. Instead, Elijah Arroyo slipped to the second round. But even still, Mel Kiper Jr. had him as the number 37 overall player in this draft, the number 3 tight end, all ACC second-teamer, and he's still a work in progress. He hasn't played a ton, in all honesty. He's dealt with some injuries. But what we saw last year, he was just a mean dealing machine with 7 touchdowns, 17 yards of reception, only 1 drop, 590 yards, 35 catches. We've even heard that Klint Kubiak is thinking that he could actually be the replacement for DK as the X-receiver in this offense. That's how good they feel about him potentially stretching the field in that sense. Very high compliment, if I'd say so myself. Lance Zierlein of NFL Media in the pre-draft process gave this scouting report on Arroyo and said this: Arroyo enters the evaluation process with questions to answer after a knee injury took chunks of 2 seasons from him. He displayed a willingness as both a point of attack and move blocker, but his technique and play strength will need upgrading. He's an average athlete who struggles to beat man coverage, but appeared to get faster and more fluid as the 2024 season wore on. He plays with awareness in space and secures throws with sure hands in traffic. Arroyo is a move tight end whose medical and athletic testing need to check out to give him a legitimate shot at being a productive pro. So some good and some bad, but that's what you come for here, is honest analysis here on Seahawks Today. Not always what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. I'm almost certain on Elijah Arroyo. I am a betting man. I have won a lot of money and lost a lot of money over the years in my sports bets. Don't tell my mom. I am almost certain. I'm putting all my chips on the table that Elijah Arroyo is going to be really good. And I feel very confident in saying that based on what I've seen, what I've evaluated from him with my own eyes. I think it's going to work out very, very well for Seattle. Do you believe in Elijah Arroyo? Got 2 options here. Be honest with me. B for believe, D for don't. How you feeling about Elijah Arroyo? Weigh in that comment section. Tell us what you think. Final thoughts. A little parting shot for you here. I think it's okay to say, to humble yourself and admit that it didn't necessarily work out with Noah Fant. You still won that Russell Wilson trade by a mile, even with that said, with getting Russ out of here and bringing in Charles Cross and all those things that in Fant wasn't bad the last few years. He just wasn't great either. It's okay to admit that, hey, you know what? Didn't really necessarily work out with Noah Fant. Go all in on Arroyo. Turn the page. He's the future, and I think he's a better fit for this offense, and that he's going to do big things for many years to come. Thanks for joining us on this birthday edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. I always appreciate anytime I get the chance to chat with the 12s, and it's my honor to bring this show to you each and every day. If you have stuck around to the end of today's video, that means you are a real one, a real member of the 12s. spam 12s in the comments. And we will see you next time right here on Seahawks Today. So long, everybody.